Hello, folks. This is an Act 4 and with Pain workshop. This is a workshop that we present to lots of people, community groups and hospital groups and just anybody in between. Say it's a workshop, and so anybody can hear it, and it's not in any way meant to be psychotherapy. It's just a way of looking at uh, how people view pain, and it's done from a point of view. I've already begun it here, and the way I always begin the workshop is literally, it sounds something like, I'm Dr. Kevin Polk, and this is about ACT, that is Acceptance and Commitment Therapy for and with Pain, and I do this from a particular point of view. Is it okay that I show you my point of view? So far, everybody has said yes. I'm assuming you said yes, and so we do the point of view. And you already see I have some stuff here, a vertical line, a horizontal line with arrows toward and away. But we'll start down here with a question, which is, who is important, run out of room there, to you? And you answer that question like friends, family, girlfriend, boyfriend, neighbors, whoever, that's down there. Over here, we ask another question. Uh, what, oops, gets in the, way? And what we mean by that is what shows up inside of you and gets in the way. And I'll go ahead and give you a clue. The number one thing, or a good example of this, is fear. Fear shows up and can get in the way of moving toward who's important to you. Over here, and by the way, this is inside stuff, inside your skin stuff. This is outside your skin stuff, behaviors, and we ask about the behavior of what do you do to move, and I already have it down there, away. So that is, so if you have fear, what are some of the things that you do to move away from fear? Do you go to sleep? Do you literally run away? And everybody does these. Think of like you step off a curb, you look to your left, there's a bus coming at you, and fear shows up, and you go, and you jump back. Well, that's an away move, so you might jump back. But people also avoid, fear, all kinds of stuff. And over here, we talk about the behaviors of what can, new whiteboard program. What can you do to move toward, and that's the people who are important to you. So that's the four questions. Who is important to you? What shows up inside of you and gets in the way? So what gets in the way? What do you do to move away from this stuff over here? And what can you do to move toward? That's over here. And so that's the beginnings, that's the four questions, and that's the point of view we do this from. And remember, this is outside the skin stuff, and by the way, you become aware of this outside the skin stuff through your senses. So this is your sensory inputs up here, and down here this is inside. So right now you were thinking about who is important to you, and you were thinking about what shows up and gets in the way, and it's always inside your skin. And in ACT, we most often call this mind. So we go from the sensory experiencing all the way down to the mind. So that's enough of that. This is a pain workshop. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to erase a bunch of stuff. Well, that's what I'll do. I'll do a bunch of erasing. Literally, I'll leave this. Who is important to you? But now we're going to have pain show up. And anybody that suffered from pain knows that pain can get in the way of moving toward who's important to you. And I mean, this is a big thing because literally we do stuff to move away from pain. If you start getting burned, that is a sort of a type of pain. Well, you move away. Get away as quick as you can from the pain. Well, it's the same as if you stab yourself. Don't stab yourself, but start poking yourself with a pencil or something accidentally. Well, you jump and you move away from the pain. But let's say a joint starts hurting or something inside of you, or you get a headache or something like that, well, it's very natural to do these away moves and away from pain. So you think about the stuff, so you know this pain can show up, and you do away moves, like take a pill. Most of us take an aspirin or a acetaminophen or something to move away from the pain. So maybe you take a pill to move away. And then again, maybe you, sleep. Just, the heck with it, I'll go to sleep. And, if the pain's not bad enough and you can't get to sleep, well, that might help. Maybe you've had it for a while and you think, I'm going to exercise. I think exercise will get rid of the pain for me. Oh, yeah, maybe so. Maybe stretching, that will. But whatever it is, you can see that especially if it sort of gets to be chronic pain or pretty bad, it really hangs around. You got the pain and maybe you do something to get rid of it, and maybe it works for a while, but if the pain's really getting bad, what happens? Well, of course, the pain comes back, and then you do the pill route, and maybe that works for a while, but then what happens? The pain comes back. And then, oh man, so now I'll do the exercise thing we mentioned. Wow, works a little bit, but here comes the pain back. And you just do that, and you can get yourself into a spiral. And lots of us have. And we call that the stuck spiral. You can get stuck in this spiral of just trying and trying and trying to get rid of this pain. And almost anybody can fall into this. This is just happens sometimes. But this is, of course, about noticing when you get in that kind of spiral. And that's why we use this point of view of that. And sometimes we'll put a big circle right here. Not a big circle, but it's the noticing circle. And you can notice when you get into that kind of cycle. Well, if you notice you're in that kind of cycle and the pain's not really going away, well, what can you do? Well, here we go on this side. And that's when it's really handy to know who is important to you and know the behaviors that you can do to move toward who's important to you. So talk, walk. And that's the case, walk. A lot of times people walk for pain. So you might walk over here to get rid of pain. That's an away move. But you could walk with a friend or something as a toward move. Walk, talk, go to dinner. But a lot of times if you're in pain and if you sort of, whatever you've got going on inside of you and the pain's sort of hanging around, what you do is notice and you take the pain with you and do one of these behaviors like this. And so if you notice, and then you can make the choice between doing more away or doing some toward stuff. And what you do, and we have more stuff, obviously this is just a quick workshop, but what you can do is sort of take a really big step back and look at a whole day or maybe a couple of 3 days and ask yourself the question, well, how much time am I spending moving toward and how much time am I spending moving away, especially from pain? Well, the easiest is, I guess, 12, 12. 12 and 12 is 24, so that's a 24-hour day. Maybe it's a 6 and, what's that, 18. So you're doing 6 hours of away from pain and 18 of toward. I'm including stuff like health. So it's not always just who's important to you. We can throw a little what in there too. And what might be important to you is health. And so maybe you're walking for your health or whatever, or sleeping for your health. So that. And we'll take out all that stuff. So I can get back to my numbers. And here's 10 and 14. I don't know what it would be for you to notice these away moves from pain versus these toward moves, and just notice the process of this. And that's the point of view that we use. And this is the workshop. Now, in a workshop, I've done this, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, I've run through this very quickly. And that's because it's the internet, and I know it's hard to digest really long videos, so I've made this into a short video. But what I do is take a lot more time here and a lot more time here and more time here and more time here, and do some other bells and whistles to make this into a 45-minute to an hour presentation on a workshop about how we use this point of view. This point of view, by the way, is nicknamed the Matrix, just like the movie, but it's not the movie. This is the Matrix diagram, and it's part of what's known as acceptance and commitment therapy. And in this way, the Matrix is the point of view, and it's also known as acceptance and commitment training, and in this case it would be training. We're just training you in this point of view. So that's it for now. I'll make some more videos on this and take you through it. So bye bye.